Are we even allowed to enjoy this holiday season? The ladies of The View got into it over that question on Monday. One of the hosts made the case we have to make an effort to enjoy the holiday season, even as we are facing an incoming Trump presidency. Boo-hoo! But others disagreed. Let's watch.
All we have to do from now until January 21st is be with our families, be with our kids, do our jobs, make sure our checks don't bounce, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and our families. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to do. But do take our word for it. Things seem to move slowly because, yeah, they didn't come get Hillary. But he has other people who are ready to go. But I don't think that they can just go out and do what they want to do.
You're saying there's legal ramifications.
No, wait, I told you last week I disagree with you when you say that. Because we have the luxury of saying that. Because we're legal, we are successful, we are. But if you're an illegal immigrant in this country, you're not going to be not in a panic. If you are a woman working for the Department of Defense, you have a right to be in a panic.
You tell people to stay fraught and like this.
I'm telling people to prepare, Whoopi. I'm telling people to prepare.
They are prepared.
So that means
I'm saying
that
to
means
people,
that they can't be relaxing and enjoying Christmas.
No, it doesn't mean that.
When winter is coming.
So a couple things. First of all, I am very envious of their holiday decorations.
Yes, we need more of that.
Very good. We don't have any. Now, I see right over there, behind the cameras, there were, earlier today, there was some poinsettias and wreaths and trees and things. I don't think that's for us, sadly.
Sadly not.
I wish it was. Love to put a little Santa hat on you, Niall. I think that would be adorable. Point number 2. We can say Christmas again. It's no longer illegal to say Merry Christmas. Donald Trump is going to be president, so that it is no longer, just so you know, legal again. Christmas has been made.
Holiday
schmoliday.
I was expecting the delight of hearing you agree with Whoopi Goldberg.
I do.
do so.
You're right. I do agree with Whoopi Goldberg there. Honestly, Whoopi is one of the ones I am more likely to agree with. That is few and far between when it happens. Anna Navarro, by extension, I think I've never agreed with once, ever. Whoopi has her dead to rights that she just wants to be freaked out about Trump all the time. That's her entire personality. I'm sure a conservative would respond to the things Anna Navarro said there by saying the intention is not that all illegal immigrants need to fear for their status, but if you are an illegal immigrant who is a criminal for some other reason, or you are taking more out of the welfare state and not contributing to our society, then perhaps you do have something to fear. And I forget, what was the other group? That is people who work for the Defense Department?
Women who work for the Defense Department.
Women who work for the Defense Department? Oh, that's a Pete Hegseth. Yeah.
Pete Hegseth
all right,
thing.
well, that's just...
Yeah.
That's a little silly to me, but okay.
So, I mean, I would also be on the Whoopi Goldberg side of this equation. I think that what she's arguing there is that however troublesome or however much one disagrees with the political climate or the views of the president-elect, that it is actually important to conserve some space in your life that is not impinged upon by those things, and without sounding too hippy-dippy about it, to preserve a kind of joy and fondness and affection, and so that not everything has to be translated through the lens of politics. It was interesting, you know, the way you characterized Anna Navarro's views there. It actually reminded me of, we were discussing either yesterday or the day before, Jon Stewart talking about the media's propensity to just freak out about absolutely everything at all times, scare people to a very considerable extent. All of that being said, I mean, I think that there are obviously legitimate concerns, particularly for people of a liberal disposition, about an incoming Trump administration, which is anathema to many of the things that they believe. Trump is going to have a Republican House and a Republican Senate. We were just discussing earlier in this show his very, very firm hold on the Republican Party. So look, he's going to have a lot of power to do everything. If people disagree with that, they should certainly get involved in political activism too.
They should prepare to punish his party in 2 years.
Exactly.
Which they can do. There will be another election, not at the presidential level. Yep. There will be a congressional election in 2 years, and there will be another presidential election in 4 years. It flies by. Mm-hmm. There's only the president has a limited window of mandate, consensus, can get something done. Trump will have more of it than this time than last time. Barack Obama was the only other president in however many long years to really have the ability to do something when he came in. And he spent that capital on our healthcare system. So we'll see what Trump does. I hope it's on cutting government waste, having some reforms at government agencies like the FBI, not reforming them in a way to go after journalists, but bringing the national security intelligence apparatus more under the control, democratic control, and having accountability there, and then having sane economic policies that lower prices for everyone. And then clearly there is, while it is not top of mind issue for me personally, clearly Donald Trump was elected to do something to fix the immigration system, to do something about illegal immigrants streaming over the border. So if that's more border security, and then I would actually like to see some kind of, to assuage Anna Navarro's concerns, I would like to see a pathway to citizenship for people who have come here and who are working and are contributing to our society, or people who are getting if they come here for an education, I don't send them back to China, please. Trump has talked about that. He said, wait, we have people coming in from Asia studying at our schools, and then we ship them back afterwards. No, I don't want to do that at all. So let's fix the process, and then you won't have the illegal immigrants who are overtaking border communities or swamping social services because there's too many of them at once and it's too hard for the system to keep them to account. And then maybe in those cases, some people do get lost between the cracks, criminals, violent people who are causing the kinds of incidents that provoke so much national media attention. Do something about that, and don't send the military door to door to deport everyone who can't find their papers. I don't think anyone actually wants to see that happen. It would be very costly and disruptive to American society. It would end up hassling not just illegal immigrants, but all of us. People don't want to see that. They just want to see the system fixed.
Yeah, I mean, to the point about education and immigration, I think it is crazy that there is this thing where the United States uses its colleges and universities to educate people to a very high standard, and then another country, often at least a competitor country, if not an outright adversary.
It's national suicide. It makes no sense to me.
It's kind of ludicrous. One of the things that I haven't really got my head around this time around with the Trump administration, and it gets back to what our friends in The View were talking about, was that in 2016, I guess, start of 2017, after Trump had won the election, there was such obvious liberal outrage. There was the Women's March for a start. There were street demonstrations whenever, I can't remember if it was the Muslim ban or some other immigration measure came into place. I don't know enough about the View archives to know if Whoopi was ordering people to the streets at that point. But it's interesting to me that there doesn't seem to be that level of activist outrage. Now, there is clearly a lot of liberal opposition to what Trump wants to do, because lots of it isn't liberal. But there isn't that sort of
people are not marching in the streets this time.
And
very little marching in the streets.
I'm not sure what that is really, whether it's the fact that he very clearly won the election and it wasn't that much of a shock that he did, or whether he has just moved the political debate to a point where things that were perceived as shocking in 2016 or early 17 are less shocking now.
He's won so utterly that the activists can't even be bothered to go out there and protest him.
I don't know. It is a strange phenomenon, though.
It is. No, it's worth commenting on for sure. That does it for us today on Rising. Thanks so much for watching our show, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're now available anywhere you can find podcasts, and we'll be back here tomorrow. See you then.